What is up, people of YouTube? I'm the wife and I'm here with your host Vernon. This is Callville Bay. Let's fish that.
Alright, ladies and gents, this is a very impromptu video. Wasn't planning on doing a video today, but recently I've had quite a lot of good luck with some bass. Even hooked a smallmouth bass in the Merced River, and then here at Lake Mead got quite a few bass out there recently. And of course the wife also saw this and she said to me she wants to get out there and catch some bass. Now, if there's one thing that I have learned, if your wife wants to go fishing, well, first off, you need to count yourself as lucky. And secondly, you need to take her out fishing. Specifically, she said she wanted to come here to Callville Bay to the abandoned docks, just simply because it's a great place to get on top of the water and be able to see the fish around. But sadly, the docks are no longer in the water. But that's not the end of the world. We might still be able to find some fish in these waters. Now, this spot, of course, is very pressured. That means we're not guaranteed that we can find bass out there. We're going to try, but on our second rods, we're going to be soaking out some baits, trying to find some carp, just to see if we can get some action out there at least. All right, but now that you guys know the plan for today, let's get to fishing. All right, guys, we still have one little walkway in the water, and then we have the boundary wall with the tires and lots of structure in the water. So still looks good to fish around here. Because we're two licensed anglers, we're allowed 2 rods each. So on our second rods, we're going to be soaking some baits out there. Going to go for carp setup. On this one we have some normal sweet corn with a floaty and some artificial corn. And on the other one we have some banana corn and some Kool-Aid corn. We're going to throw that out there, see what flavors these fish want, whether they'll be willing to go for our corn. Been seeing quite a lot of carp swimming around, especially up shallow, but as soon as we got near we kind of chased them out. That's why I'm thinking if we go out into the deeper water with the corn, we might get some carp. And then we're going to be walking around with our other rods, especially on the dock and around these little pilings and stuff. Going to be looking for some bass with all sorts of lures. Alright guys, quick update. This rod has now been in the water for about 10 minutes, already getting some action on the little bobber there, meaning something's already feeding on our pack bait. Going to wait around a while, going to stay close to this rod just in case this alarm starts screaming. But we're going to use our second rods. I have on here a little craw imitation, going to cast that around. Like I said, I'm going to stay close to this rod for a while just to see if we get a fish. Wife's over there busy throwing around a little Ned rig, hoping for some bass.
Okay guys, so I'm going to start with a little Ned rig today and see if I'm getting anything. I'm just going to do a slow bounce on the bottom. So just saw a ton of big shad up shallow here, racing out when I came closer. And there's a ton of small fry swimming around here in the shallows. So I don't know if the camera is catching this, but there's a ton of small fish jumping just at the surface. So maybe you should try some inline spinners as well. Something. Not quite a boil, but enough small fish jumping out to cause some interest. Big carp just off of the dock here. 2 of them. Don't know if the camera is catching them. Swear I had a bite there. So this sunken halfway listing dock is somewhat of a surreal experience, but it seems sturdy enough. And there it looks like Vernon is onto something.
And there we go, guys. I think we have a carp on. It's now been half an hour since we thrown out this rod, so it wasn't as quick as I thought, but still half an hour, it's not bad. Just don't want to tighten my drag all the way. We don't want the hooks to rip out. But with this type of reel that I'm using, we loosen the drag when trying to catch carp, and as soon as you get the bite you have to tighten it again, but don't tighten it all the way. The fish needs to be able to take line. We've been seeing quite a lot of carp swimming around this area. It was just a matter of time before they found our corn. Just trying to get the fish around some structure. Big guy, but we got him in the net. This carp has a big belly on him. He's feeding pretty well. And he went for the top hook. That's my banana flavored corn. Let's get the hooks out. Decent, nice sized carp. Let's get him back into the water. Nice and heavy, feeding pretty well. Quickly gonna release him. All relaxed, and there he goes, back to steal some more baits. Only thing worse than having your fishing boat sink is having your fishing boat sink with your fishing rods still in there. Alright guys, wanted the wife to get on a bass. She's busy having a look at our rods, and I happened to get a bass. Wanted her to get this one, but oh well. Keep him out of the cover. Decent fish. Want him to get his head underwater so he doesn't do that. Let's quickly boat flip him. Not going to be able, he's too big. He got my little Ned rig though, but there's nothing we can do about that. Only using 6-pound test line. It wasn't strong enough to get that fish on top. But that little Ned rig, he'll either shake it out or it will rust out. No harm to that fish. And just like that, the wife is also on a fish. Quickly gonna make my way over there.
I think we have one. Yep. Not sure how big this one is, but we'll definitely take it.
Don't know whether these fish have spawned already or they're just feeding very well. It's a big belly on this one. Nice big fat one. Good healthy feeding one.
Yep.
Let's get him back to the water. And there he goes. Thanks for eating our bait, little guy. Good catch. Alright, ladies and gents, this is the part of the video where I tell you what an idiot I am for trying to boat flip that bass. And that is why you need to have a landing net or at least some lip grips with you when going fishing. But sadly, that was the only bass we got out there today. But on the bright side, we did get quite a lot of hits from carp and got some decent carp out there as well. And that is kind of the idea, to get out there and just have fun and catch some fish. Now at the moment it is midday, so there's still a lot of time to do some fishing, but it is quite hot out here. And to be honest, a couple of hours ago, just as suddenly as we were getting bites, it kind of stopped. It seemed like the fish were moving out into deeper water. That is one thing I have to mention about this particular spot. Seeing how the docks are no longer in the water. This bay that we're fishing in is rather shallow. It's not that deep. You can see the bottom quite easily for a large portion of the body of water we're fishing. So I think as soon as it gets a bit hot, these fish move out into deeper water. It is a weird idea, but fish also do get sunburned, so they're not going to stick around in the shallows. But there are also quite a lot of tilapia in the shallows. They don't seem to be moving out into deeper water, but there are some big ones, and I've tried with all sorts of baits and lures. Can't get any interest out of them. We're used to catching tilapia with using some night crawlers or something like that, but I'm not getting any action out of these tilapia. So if you know how to get these bedding tilapia, please go down in the comments and tell me. Alright guys, but before it gets too hot, I want to thank you guys for following us on this trip. Please do give me a little thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Feel free to ask any questions down below in the comments. If you're new to the channel, consider hitting the subscribe button, joining my community. And nothing more to do then. Thank you guys for watching, and like always, I'll see you next time.